Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Random Redshirt Podcast. I am one of the hosts, Zach, and the other host is Chris. What's up, buddy?
Hello, Zach. Great to see you. Zach, you are in incredible Las Vegas, Nevada right now, live for us
Yeah,
at the Star Trek
yeah,
convention. So awesome.
I am.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm in the dealer room right now here at the Rio Hotel for the 57-year mission Star Trek Las Vegas. And I thought, why not come on and just talk about the convention a little bit?
That's incredible, man. So you've been having a great time? Sounds incredible.
Yeah, dude, it's been awesome. I talked to a lot of people and met a lot of cool people. Got to hang out with some great people as well, and it's been a ton of fun. It's been really a really busy con. A lot of people here. Strange New Worlds. William Shatner is supposed to go on and speak a bit about in a little over an hour from the time we're recording this. Because it's Sunday, it's the last day of the con, and it's been a blast. It's been a lot of people here. Probably busier. I want to say it's busier this year than last year, but I could be
Yeah.
wrong.
Yeah. Well, the forum and the place is better than it was last year at the Rio, back in the same place that we saw before, and it's open and a much more inviting kind of setup, right?
Yeah, well, the convention center here is definitely bigger than it was last year. Bally's, if you guys went to the convention last year, Bally's was split into two locations. You had the main theater area, the main convention center, which was the hallways were smaller. It was a lot more crammed. And then you had to go up to like another tower to like the top floor to see all of the rest of the convention areas. This is much better. The deal room, I think, is probably not quite two times the size of what it was at Bally's, but it's pretty decent size.
Yeah. Oh man, that's outstanding. I saw like some of the things that you shared with me, like those the preview of the Exo 6 Star Trek figures that are coming out that were just like
Yeah,
they're amazing and incredible from Star Trek 2, from Strange New Worlds, from Voyager, from DS9. Those preview characters that they've got are so awesome looking. So I can't wait till they
yeah,
have them out.
those figures are incredible. I mean, I have a few of them and I have a bunch more on pre-order. And I every time I looked at them, I'm like, my wallet just cringed. Because I mean they're not cheap, but I mean they're museum quality. And so their Exo 6 booth is here. It's really, really nice. A lot of figures, some that obviously are not released yet. Yeah, my brain is a little bit fried at this point in my trip, but it's been good, man. Yeah, we had Tracy on with us, right? Remember we had
Yeah,
her on.
yeah.
So those of you watching and listening, if this is the first time you've ever checked out our podcast here on this little bonus episode we're doing, um, we are on Facebook and Instagram. You can check us out on YouTube at the Random Redshirt Podcast. Just search for us and you'll find us. But we did have Tracy Coco on with us about when was that, Chris? I don't know, 6 months ago,
Yeah,
seven
yeah,
months
about
ago,
that.
something like that.
Uh,
And I think actually, if I remember back, I think she was the first time we did video. Her episode was the first
mhm.
Zoom video we did, and then we switched to video from there.
Oh man, that's incredible. So are you feeling a lot of like positive energy and vibes from Picard season 3 and from Strange New World season 2? Like these recent series that are out? Nice.
Huge, huge. So we just went to a panel this morning.
Yeah.
It had three people who will be on our podcast at some point. So we had Dave Blass, we had Liz Kowalski, and I think I said her name right.
Mm.
And then Todd Marks. They all worked on behind the scenes and helped make the Enterprise D become a thing, right? They worked on some visual effects. They worked on the sets, all putting all this stuff together, and they were in like a side room, but their panel, I mean, people at the very end of their panel, we all stood up and just cheered and hollered and clapped because of that reaction. I mean, the buzz for Picard season 3 is still massive. It's
Yeah.
huge,
Yeah.
huge.
I'll bet people are still catching up on Picard season 3, but yeah, you're right. It's so wonderful to see that energy there for this convention. And all the kind of the love that they're having for Picard season 3. Just like we had talked about. We love that one so much.
Yeah. I got to talk to Bruce Horak again, our friend
Oh yeah.
Hemmer that we've had on. He was great. It was his birthday yesterday, by the
Oh,
way. So he
awesome.
got to be in Vegas for the convention on his birthday. He said his mind was blown. It was so
Mm.
awesome. So yeah, in fact, I had him sign a photo for me of just him. And on the photo, I think he wrote like "Red Shirts Forever" or something like that. So because he
Oh,
was a red shirt, right? So
yeah.
that was great.
Yeah, that's very cool. Oh man,
Yeah.
that's cool. I can't wait to talk with you. I did watch the latest episode of Strange New Worlds.
And I have not yet,
Yeah.
so we're gonna watch. I'm gonna watch it probably tomorrow night after I get home, and then. But there's been a big buzz from that episode, that musical
Yeah.
episode that just came out. Big buzz.
Yeah. It'll be great to talk through it. So, just
Yeah.
the talent that is amongst that Strange New Worlds like ensemble crew is amazing. So that'll
Yeah,
be awesome.
and in fact, one of the Strange New Worlds cast is sitting over there. Ethan Peck, Spock.
And he's
He's sitting over there, and of course
yeah,
the showrunner for Picard season 3, Terry Matalas, is also just over yonder.
he's a fantastic singer. I'll say that. So you'll get
Yeah,
to see that.
I had a buddy of mine message me, and he said, "Wait till you see something about K-pop, some the Klingons or something like that." I don't know what that means because I haven't watched it, but I look forward to seeing what all that means.
Oh, okay. I know what that means. So
Yeah,
oh, that's a good term for it. K-pop. Okay.
that's what he called. Yeah,
That's what he
Klingon, it
called
must be
it.
Klingon pop or something like that. So hey, there's Connor Trinneer, just
Oh,
walking around
awesome.
seeing what kind of pictures are available and all that.
Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, the Shuttle Pod show is there too. Got to see some of them on YouTube. So that was great seeing Connor and
Yep.
Dominic and Mark and Erica. And they're doing great. So that's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I've seen Mark and Erica a couple times. They've been around here. Shuttle Pod Show has had their stuff. And so yeah, it's been good.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah. So did a lot of the toss folks come? Did Walter show up? Said William Shatner was coming today. Mr. Shatner's always got like this huge amount of energy.
Oh yeah.
They did,
He's
yeah.
got more energy at 93 than I do at almost 40.
I know, man. It's incredible. It's
Yeah.
incredible. That's wonderful to
Yep.
hear. Wonderful to see.
It has. Yeah. It's nice being back at the Rio. Like you said, it's the convention center here. While the hotel has still a lot of work to be done,
Mhm.
The convention center itself here has been pretty awesome.
It's
Yeah.
kind of interesting. You're right. Like they were pretty creative. Like the pictures you showed me, they were pretty creative. Like we know that the actors strike and the writer strike is still going on now, so they had to make some changes in
Yep.
you know, the decoration, I guess we would call it for the convention, but they did a good job. The creativity
Yeah.
was there. Yeah.
Yeah, and obviously it affected some of the things that the actors and the writers and stuff really couldn't talk about a whole lot, honestly.
Yeah.
They want to stand firm with their unions and make sure that they're supporting their unions and so forth. And so there's definitely been modifications to that. It has changed the formatting of panels to a certain extent. When it comes to like autographs and stuff, they weren't allowed to sell any professional photos or
Yeah.
not professional. I mean, photos of them as their characters. They could sell headshots, but they couldn't sell a thing else. But apparently, you could, if you brought them something of their character, they could sign it. They just couldn't have anything at their table. So,
Oh, that makes sense.
there was some minor thing, nothing significant, and obviously the strike that they're doing, I think, is important for their livelihood and their future work and what they get paid for. I mean, it's a big deal. I think that there's talks that with this strike, it was necessary and for a lot of change in the industry based on where the industry was going.
Yeah,
So
absolutely. Absolutely.
yeah.
It's a big deal. It's good.
So yep. And then Doug Jones just walked by, our lovely Kelpian Saru from
Yes.
yep. So it's good.
Oh man,
Good.
that's cool.
It's cool hanging out.
Oh, that's awesome, man. That's so cool.
Yeah, so I would say, like, when it comes to the effect of the strike, that it hasn't it probably, I mean, it's had an effect on the panels, but I would say like the rest of it I haven't seen a massive effect. I mean, obviously, like, the actors really can't talk about much.
Yeah.
But as far as like being able to still, go up, meet them and have them sign something, that really hasn't changed.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, that's good.
Yeah. I mean, it affects some of the stuff they can write. Like they can't write certain things when they sign stuff because some people like to have them write quotes and all that stuff, and they can't do that.
Yeah.
But they're still allowed to sign their characters as long as it's not at their table, which is kind of weird, but that's just kind of the way the rules are and stuff. Tracy. Tracy's down there. I'm gonna see if she wants to come down and say hi for a second.
Okay. Oh, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Yes.
Chris and I are recording for our podcast. You want to say hi?
Yeah, I can say hi. real
Okay,
quick.
come on in. Pull up a chair. So for those of you watching or listening, you guys probably remember Tracy Coco when she was on with us. Tracy, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. Hi, everybody.
Tracy,
How's the
awesome.
convention?
Oh,
Yeah.
the convention's been it's good. It's a little twisty different this time because of the Screen Actors strike, but it's fun. You know me, I always have fun.
You always have fun.
I always have fun.
Absolutely. Yeah, we were just talking about, kind of the effects and what's been going on with the strike and how that's affected certain things. But I'm just glad you guys are still able to come out and see everybody.
We got to come out mostly because Michelle Hurd, you know who she is.
Yeah,
obviously.
Raffi from Picard.
Yeah. She's on the negotiating team for SAG. So that's why I believe that's why we're here.
Yeah.
So I give her a lot of hugs because I was thinking I wasn't coming. So, but hey, if you're around, come on by my table. I have the headshots that we're supposed to have.
And they're beautiful headshots, by the way.
Yeah.
Really great headshots.
Yeah, because that we can only have those. Yeah, headshots pictures.
That's right. Yeah.
But this guy right here, he's a cutie patootie. So are you over there, thumbs up guy. I see you.
Yeah.
I see you. Yeah, we've had some fun.
Yeah.
And we're gonna hang out later, so that'll be fun.
We'll
right?
be.
Okay.
Yep. Look
All right.
forward to it. Thanks,
All right.
Tracy.
All right. Bye,
Yeah,
guys.
bye. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, Tracy Coco. She is an absolute treasure.
That was awesome, man. Yeah, she
Yeah.
was a treasure. Wow, so cool.
Yeah, she would. I mean, it's amazing the response we got on her episode when we interviewed her. Like everybody's like, she's just such a ball of energy. She has so
Mhm.
much. She's so positive. She's so exciting. And so and she's, if you think that's just how she is, and coming on a podcast, you're wrong. That's just who she is. Like
Yeah.
she is a ton of energy. She has a blast, and it's great. We love it.
Oh man, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So are you feeling like the dealers that are in the dealer room, and all the vendors there? Is there a good amount of business you're seeing them? You think
Yeah.
it's pretty successful for them? Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, actually. So you remember Tony Kim? We had him on,
Mhm.
the CEO
Yeah.
of Here Within. They're back. He's got a bigger booth this year than
Sweet.
last year, especially because after like he went to some other cons and San Diego Comic-Con and stuff like that. His booth, he just redesigned the booth and everything, and it looks really cool. He's got what looks like a transporter pad out in front of it. And that was cool. That was
Good
really
for him.
neat.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's been really cool. So Here Within's here. There was another, I don't remember the name of the group. They were right next to his booth selling like the Picard season 3 like leather jackets
Mhm.
that they wore on the show, not the exact ones, but replicas of them. Let's see what else there was. There's been some new dealers here. I mean, you have the traditional, you have like the Lightspeed fine art folks, and people selling tribbles, and people selling the old Star Trek Playmates toys, things like that. But there's been a lot of stuff. And there was a couple other dealers, and again, I apologize, you guys, my mind is fried at this point. This is day 3, going strong. But there was a couple of dealers that I hadn't recognized before, that were like selling books and some other various stuff. And I apologize, I didn't get their names. I didn't write it down, but there has been some new stuff this year, which I think is good. Anytime you get new dealers,
Mhm.
it helps change the dynamic of the dealer room a little bit. And the dealer room has been packed pretty much every day.
Oh, that's good. You're right. Absolutely. That's good to have some new dealers in there because that kind of makes things grow, generates different kinds of interest, and kind of
Yeah.
broadens the whole spectrum, right?
Yeah.
Of all things Star Trek and science fiction. So that's awesome, man.
Yeah. So have you had more time to think on our last episode review we did of Strange New Worlds, the Under the Cloak of War, and just kind of the heaviness and the impact of it? I know we talked about thinking through it some more and kind of marinating on it a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, I have, some of the themes that really stuck with me on it were themes of, especially in wartime, of ambiguity again, and like we talked about Dr. Mbenga's, we talked about Dr. Mbenga's and Captain Pike's conversation at the end of the episode, right?
Yeah.
Where Dr. Mbenga said, "Hey, you have the privilege of believing the best in people." And then you had,
Mhm.
Captain Pike's response. So what really kind of landed with me was that kind of feeling of, ambiguity, and sometimes what we feel is right from our own
Yeah.
perspective, right, is depending on your experience and your circumstances in the world, what we think is right may be completely 180 degrees from someone with a different experience. And
Right.
I think that's important for all of us, like to realize we make laws and rules according to what we believe is right. But those laws and rules may not always be uh, truly, truly the best thing or the right thing, like for the people. And so that's why they always evolve and they always change based on people and based on their experiences. So
Yeah.
those were right. Those were some of the themes that have resonated with me like over the last week, and that I've thought about. How about you?
Yeah. The more I think about that episode, the more I think like, it was so heavy. There was so much involved in it, and the amount of it's very clear the amount of PTSD that those two suffered
Mhm.
was massive. I mean, it had a big effect on them moving forward, and it had an effect on them so much so that they're still drinking that green stuff, you know, later when they're trying to get out of that, get that ship out and get
Yeah.
out of that air, get out of that place. And they're fighting Klingons. And there was a line in that movie, and I can't remember what it was off the top of my head. I had taken a picture of it. I think I sent the picture to you. Let me
You
look
did.
back really quickly. It was a specific line, and I don't remember that we talked about it when we did our review. I don't think we did. But the line was
Oh, I found.
something. Yeah, the line was something's breaking away that can never be repaired.
Yeah.
And that really stuck with me. I'm like, that's kind of true. Like, what happens? Like, to me, the episode's kind of dealing with this idea of what happens when people get to their breaking point, right? How do they handle that? How does that breaking point affect them? And I think you saw that breaking point when the Klingon ambassador of Dakra, right, when he came on board the ship, you saw that breaking point with Chapel and Ubenga.
Yeah, you saw the breaking point. I will say that I think with.
Especially with Mbenga, the breaking
Yeah,
point with him, especially.
yeah. And Benga handled it really well though, right? He did,
Mm-hmm.
because he had traumatic experiences in his life.
Yeah.
He was obeying the orders of his captain, right? And being there. He was restraining himself and trying to hold together his emotions and restrain what he felt, you know, being um and acting, I think, in the most noble fashion that he could under the circumstances. He really handled it well. And it was not him, it was not him that pushed anything. It was the ambassador that kept pushing it, right? Kept saying, "Hey, I want to meet more. Hey, I want you to be part of my team. Hey, I want this."
Well, yeah, you saw the effect of him when he first came on the ship, right?
Yeah.
And he had this what looked like a panic attack we talked about, right? And how that much that affected him. And then to the effect just continued on the longer he was on the ship, the more he had talked to him. And even I think he even said at one point, right, like, you need to go away. Like, I don't want to talk to you anymore. I don't want to deal with you anymore. I don't want anything to do with you. And he just kept pressing and kept
Hmm.
pressing and kept pressing. And you could tell that was affecting him hard.
Yeah.
But um, also to do with this convention this year, I will say it really has been a blast. There's been a lot of great people here. With the popularity of Picard season 3, there's been a lot of people that work behind the scenes so much in order to make what we saw on screen come to life. And
Hmm.
I'm really excited to be able to have those people on with us. We will announce as soon as we can. And then also other people I've met that, if we're able to work to get them on, people who've worked on other Star Trek shows, who've worked on music, who've worked on animation, all sorts of things, Star Trek Online. I mean, there's just been so many people here doing those things. So it's been great. I mean, like we've talked about before, right? Like this idea of learning about what it takes to put a show together and learning all the ins and outs. And it helps, I think, connect you to the magic you see on screen even more.
Mm-hmm. And so many of the people on the creative team are fans themselves of the show and have this great kind of knowledge and background of the show. And you're right. It connects us even more to the franchise. It makes us just appreciate the whole franchise as a whole more, because it takes an enormous amount of people and creative talent into making this, these beautiful shows happen, which is wonderful.
Yeah, absolutely. And so also too, it's been fun seeing the Shuttlepod show here, right?
Yeah.
And so seeing Mark and Erica and talking with them, and I did a couple recorded bits for them
cool.
that they asked me to do, so that was neat. And just conversing with them. So this convention was Erica and Mark's first Star Trek convention.
Wow.
They'd never been to a Star Trek convention before.
Been to one? Okay.
Which is a little surprising. I mean, Mark's such a big Star Trek fan, but I mean, Erica's, still fairly new to learning all this stuff as she's continuing to watch and learn through the Shuttlepod show and everything. This was her first one. She was like, just like sensory overload. I said, I know, especially that first day, you're just overwhelmed. There's so much to do, so much to look at, so many people to talk to, things to see. It's big. I mean, I probably equate similar to your experience, right? When you went 2 years ago for your first convention.
Yeah, it was a lot. Yeah, my first convention, I was definitely impressed with the dealer room and kind of all of the variety of Star Trek memorabilia and items that were available, and science fiction memorabilia and items that were for sale. So that was great. And then seeing all the different kind of live events that were there and thematic shows that were there were just it was incredible to see. You want to see it all, but you can't, right? Because there's so much.
No, you can't.
Yeah.
I mean, well, it depends on how much time. If you want to sit in a bunch of panels, then you can. If you want to just walk on the dealer room every day, then you can do that too. But there's a lot to see, a lot to do. I think Creation does a good job of giving you a lot of different things to look at and watch and interact with and do. So it makes it a lot of fun, especially if you've never been, or you've only maybe been once or twice. And so kind of that evolving, the involvement of the convention.
Nice.
Yeah. So it's been fun, man. I we can talk more about it. I just, kind of wanted to pop on here and share with you guys some initial thoughts from the convention, not live per se, but at least in a pre-recording here. Let me tell you though, everybody I've talked to that has either seen or listened to us or hears about us goes, "Where's Chris? We miss him. We wish he was here." So while we know you couldn't make it, buddy, we know you were here in spirit, and hope that you're able to make it back again sometime in the future. And a lot of people that I talked to and have met want to meet you.
Oh, awesome, man. I want to meet them.
So they can see the other half of the better half of the Random Retro podcast.
No. I want to meet them, and I want to be there, and I'm there in spirit, and I'm planning on coming the next time. So, man, thank you. I'm so glad you were able to tell me that. So that makes me feel wonderful, man.
Yeah. We had a fun time. We had a fun time networking and getting to know people, and it's great. You just like what we do every other time we've had people on, right? We love to just get to know them. We love to talk with them. We love to learn about them and their careers, how they got to where they were, not just, let's talk about Star Trek, but or whatever they were on. Let's learn about what was the process to get there, right? Like what did you go through? How'd you get there? I mean, even like when we had my friend Natalia on, right? And her process of getting into ballet when she was little, and then getting into acting, and that whole process of going from where she was as a kid and all the endeavors and the artistic endeavors she wanted to pursue, and her parents supporting her, all the way leading up to Star Trek and all the other roles she's had before and after, was really fantastic. And that's been for any of our guests, right? I mean, I feel like the more we learn about them, the more we appreciate them than we did before.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's the same thing too. Like we've gotten to know, and here I've gotten to know quite a few people that work behind the scenes, and it just makes you appreciate more the hard work they put in,
Mm-hmm.
you know, for the stuff they do. Because, you know, we see it on screen, right? We're like, oh, there it is. But what you don't realize is the months and the months and the hours and the hours and the grind that they go through to put that stuff together and make it come on screen and be what it is that we know, right? That movie or television magic,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And all the teamwork that goes into creating it. So much teamwork,
right?
right?
Right? Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a grind. Everybody talks about how much of a grind that it is.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But you know, the good thing is that what they created will last, I want to say forever, but you know, will last decades, you know, and that is wonderful to see.
Yeah, I mean, think about the people that created the original series, and here we
Mhm.
are almost 60 years later, 57 years later, and we're still talking about it. Star Trek is still going strong. It's got new shows on, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Strange New Worlds, Discovery. I mean, I know Prodigy got canceled, but you know, Star Trek Lower Decks. By the way,
Mhm.
it's amazing how many people there are here cosplaying in Lower Decks costumes. How many people that are here that are talking about Lower Decks. It really is an absolutely huge or absolutely hugely popular. It really is.
Yeah.
So I think, Chris, we got to dive
guess-
into this show.
Yeah.
I think we do. We really got to dive into this show.
I guess we got to get
We
into
do.
it. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That'll be new for us.
Yeah. It's something we could talk about on future episode, but it really is huge. I know I have not met a Star Trek fan that's like, oh yeah, Lower Decks, meh, it's okay. Everybody's like, it's so good, you got to watch it. It's a must watch and everything.
Really? Okay. Okay.
Yeah, we got to watch it. Got to watch it. Got to talk about it. I think it's worth it. And we saw a little sneak peek when we had the crossover episode, right, with
Mhm.
with them and Strange New Worlds. It was fun. It was. I'll be honest with you. Like I said in the review, it was more fun and exciting than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a blast.
I think you'll find I felt similarly to the musical episode where it was, you know, was fun. So that'll be cool for us to kind of talk about.
Yeah, I agree. So, all right, buddy. Well, I'm going to jump off here. And so all of you watching and listening all over the interwebs.
That's right.
As always, we thank you. We appreciate it. Be sure to go on Facebook and Instagram. Check us out there. You can find us on your favorite podcast platform and on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe and follow us for our latest content and updates. By the time this thing comes out, which will probably be tomorrow at the time this recording, maybe Monday or something, the convention will be over. But if you did get to go, we'd love to hear your thoughts on your convention experience this year. Like, how was it? What'd you do? What'd you see? Who'd you talk to? Who'd you meet? What autographs or photo ops did you get? I'm still buzzing about meeting Christina Chong. Not gonna lie. Yeah, I met her a couple times. I had her sign my cast poster, and then I went back again for another photo, her sign another photo that I bought from Creation of her as Lon, and got a selfie with her. And yeah, it was a blast. She
Awesome, man.
She was absolutely a sweetheart. Very, very nice to talk to. And really appreciated the fan work. So I would love to have her on. Hopefully we can get her on sometime.
You're gonna like her
by the
even
way,
more when you see the musical.
I believe it. And apparently she was pushing for that, I guess.
Oh yeah.
I read that in an interview that she was pushing to do that. So I think it's great. Well, because and by the way, she is an unbelievable singer. She has an EP out. If you have not checked it out yet, you can go just search for her. I think it's on Spotify and all that. She has an EP out with her music. And the music I even told her, I said, your style of music's not really my style, but I really like it. Her voice is fantastic. The music sounds, I mean, it's really good. She's an incredibly talented dancer and actress, but she's also really, really good singer.
This I didn't know. I didn't even know this was another like career that she has. Okay.
Yeah, it is. So go check out her music because it's very much worth it. It's really good. Even if you're not really into that style, I still think it's really good. And that's coming from somebody who's not into that style of music.
Yeah. Okay. I'll check it out.
So go check it out. All right. So thank you everybody for watching, listening all over the interwebs and the globe. We do appreciate it. And hopefully sometime in the future, you can, if you haven't made it out to a Star Trek convention, be sure to go check it out. You can go to creationent.com and they have all the details there of upcoming conventions. And when, the Las Vegas Star Trek convention or the 50 next year will be the 58-year mission, is typically in August. So, you know, later in the year. So if that's something you're interested in doing, then be sure to check out their website to find out the details when they do post them for next year, and you can go from there.
Awesome.
Hopefully
Bro.
you can come and experience this, because there's a lot of people. I'm really hoping that the actor, his name's escaped me. The guy who played Dr. Mbenga comes to a convention soon.
Oh, Babs.
'cause yeah.
Something. Yeah.
I'd love to meet him. I mean, I think he's really done a lot for the character. I mean, we talked about this before. Dr. Mbenga really wasn't a super fleshed out character in TOS, right? You had McCoy, and he has done so much for that character. I think his intensity and the types of scenes he's had to play, especially in season 2, and then even season 1 with his daughter, were so intense and so heartfelt and so heavy. That I would love to hear more from him about that, and like what he drew from. How did he get into that? Like what was his method, right? For making that character.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, man. Zach, thanks so much for bringing us. Yeah, your first person, like on the ground, like viewpoint from the convention.
Literally on the ground right now.
On the ground.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's
Absolutely.
incredible.
Yeah.
I feel like
Cool,
I'm there.
man.
Almost.
Yeah. Well, hopefully, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I can do this, but if you can see a little bit.
Oh yeah. Yep, we can.
Yep. That's where I'm at. That's where I'm at in the dealer room right now. And I'm going to pack up stuff and keep moving on.
All right, bro. Yeah.
All right. Well, everybody take care. We appreciate it as always, and we'll catch you next time right here on the Random Redshirt Podcast.